that has gone on for 50 years has been the way in which the aspirations that exist in our society for a more democratic, egalitarian, and just social order have echoed within the precincts of this university. It is that struggle which has ensured the conditions and the environment in which the potential, and merely the potential that a university has, to serve the interests of the people and to serve the interests of moving Indian society towards a more just social and egalitarian condition. That potential has been realized only through this struggle. It is not an automatic product of the creation of a set of buildings, the appointment of faculty, and the giving of degrees. It is a mere potential that has only been realized through this struggle. It is the struggle of students which has nurtured the critical thinking, the spirit of questioning, thrown up the concerns with which students have engaged, which has produced all the academic excellence for which this university is known. It is this struggle which has ensured, both on the input side as well as the output side, that this university remains an asset of the people of this country. It has ensured, this struggle is what has ensured that the intake of the university would be as diverse as the realities of the Indian nation. It is this struggle that has also ensured that everyone who came, irrespective of their background, when they went out of this university, they were prepared or created in a manner which would serve this interest. It is that struggle and the solidarities that has given rise to, which has ensured that the diversity of this university has been creative. It is the distances that the diversities could have created, the distances, that hierarchies that exist in our society, which would always be carried into the university, that their walls that could have been created in that process were continuously broken. And it is this collective achievement of 50 years of struggle that has to be celebrated today if we are truly going to observe the 50 years of JNU. And I'm very happy that all of you are coming together to keep that tradition alive. Today, of course, in these 50 years, the spirit of struggle has also been kept alive by struggle. In these 50 years, from time to time, there have been made attempts to extinguish the spirit. But it is struggle which has beaten back every such attempt in these 50 years. And I'm confident that even today, the concerted attempt being made to kill this spirit in this university will also be beaten back, and beaten back decisively. Why is this important? If you look at today's condition, in one sense, the intensity of the attack that all of us are facing in JNU today is in one sense an acknowledgement of what that 50 years has created. It is an acknowledgement of the potential that exists in this university. A potential that has to be extinguished, or which is sought to be extinguished, because of a larger context that exists today in this country. आज जो हम इस विश्वविद्यालय में जिसका सामना कर रहे हैं, it is both a reflection of a larger context of Indian society. At the same time, it is very closely modeled on what is happening in the whole country. If you look at the reality of Indian society today, what is the essential reality of Indian society today? A reality in which the actual achievement of what are the aspirations of the large majority of Indians, the gap between that achievement and the aspiration is becoming larger and larger. As a result, Indian society today is in a condition where you are not able to guarantee to the large majority of your citizens, in a true sense, democratic rights. You are not able to guarantee a just society. Egalitarianism is not something that can be guaranteed in Indian society today. But it is no longer a society in which the large majority of the victims of this are quietly going to accept this. It is therefore a society in which those who have maintained positions of privilege historically are in a making desperate bids to impose an order on a society which is no longer amenable to such order. And the authoritarianism that we see in the country now, which is reflected in the regime that we have seen in the last 5 years, is an expression of that order, of that attempt. Let us not forget that in the 2014 elections, the large majority of Indians did not vote for those who formed the government. And no matter what happens in 2019, it will still be true that the large majority of Indians will not vote for them. But there is a concerted attempt to ensure that the fact that there are so many concerns, so many ideas, so many issues that bother so many people in this country, which find varied political expressions, there is a concerted attempt to obliterate them and to make this one nation in a very specific sense. So how does the regime deal with the fact that there are several others political tendencies that exist in this country which are opposed to them? How does it deal with them? It deals with them by labeling them all with the same brush, with no product differentiation also. And what is the brush? You are all anti-national, you all promote corruption, everyone is put in that same category. The second method of dealing with them is to use the institutions of the state to persecute those you can arrest on this or that law. Arrest them and put them in jail. Those whom you are not able to arrest, find some cases against them, some corruption case, some this case, some that case. And this is the way in which there is an attempt to try and discipline and सबको एक अनुशासन में लाने का प्रयास हो रहा है. And you portray that this country of 133 crore people, there is only one man. There is only one man who can be the savior of this great nation. Parliament doesn't matter. MPs don't matter. Ministers don't matter. Different state governments don't matter. Only one man matters. And the attempt is always to reduce the discourse of politics in India to the question of who should that man be. What is the difference between that and the model our great Vice Chancellor, our revered Vice Chancellor uses? If you go to the JNU website, on the website, there is a section which is given a certain title, Leadership. And under that title, there is one photograph and one name. No prizes for guessing who that whose photograph is there and whose name is there. As far as I know, the JNU Act says the Vice Chancellor is an officer of the university. But our Vice Chancellor thinks he is the leader of this university. And if he is the leader of this university, he must decide everything that happens here. And everyone else must dutifully follow. So there is only one man who is important in this university, just as there is only one man important in the country. And how do you deal with the fact that several people in this university, students, teachers, karamcharis, they don't really like what you're doing. They express their opposition, they protest. So again, you label them. You're all indisciplined, wastrels, taxpayer का पैसा बर्बाद करते रहते हो, काम वाम कुछ करते नहीं हो. The greatest service to the nation is कि आप यहाँ से डिग्री लीजिए और इस देश को छोड़ के बाहर चले जाइए. आप वो करते नहीं हो, आप देश के बारे में सोचते रहते हो. So you are all wasting taxpayers' money. You are all indisciplined. So how do you have to be treated? वो कहते हैं CBI से किसी को पीछे पड़ाओ, पीछे लगाओ. हमारे वाइस चांसलर चीफ प्रॉक्टर साहब को लगा देते हैं. ये इंक्वायरी कीजिए, उसको शो कॉज नोटिस दीजिए, उस पर फाइन लगाइए, इस टीचर के खिलाफ एक्शन लीजिए, उस स्टूडेंट के खिलाफ एक्शन लीजिए. Disciplinary action, the quantum of disciplinary action that has been taken under this particular Vice Chancellor, maybe it's a PhD research topic for someone to do. I doubt whether in the terms of 5 other Vice Chancellors together you would find so much action. मैं तो खुद ही मजाक करता हूं कि मैं इस यूनिवर्सिटी का छात्र संघ का भी प्रेसिडेंट था, 3 साल में यूनियन में था. आप लोग को जैसे शो कॉज नोटिस मिलते हमें भी मिलते थे, लेकिन I have got more show cause notices as a teacher than I ever got as a student. And I regret it deeply कि टीचर होने के बाद हम कुछ चीजें तो नहीं कर सकते ना जो स्टूडेंट होते वक्त कर भी देते थे. Can't do some things. And yet one has received more show cause notices as a teacher than one did as a student. So this model of trying to suppress all dissent, all protest, ultimately what is it? What is the Vice Chancellor trying to actually attempt in this university? What the Vice Chancellor is trying to attempt, even when he declares that he is observing 50 years of JNU, is to completely de-link its future from that 50-year past. To completely demolish and destroy all the democratic traditions, all the spirit of questioning, all the spirit of critical thinking, all the concerns and questions about what is happening in India, in Indian society, that the student movement, the teachers movement and the struggles in JNU have thrown up from time to time. It is an attempt, concerted attempt to destroy that. And therefore it is nothing more than a concerted attempt to destroy the university. If you have a larger authoritarian agenda for Indian society, then ending this one set of institutions or demolishing this one set of institutions which nurture challenge to the dominance of the privileged, ending their potential to play a role in serving the interests of the people at large, ending that potential is part of the authoritarian agenda. And therefore, our Vice Chancellor, when he chooses to follow that particular, what he is doing today is part of executing that particular agenda, behind which, therefore, he has the support of the entire state today. To carry forward that agenda in JNU itself, he also needs to deal with the opposition and the struggle that will give rise to. So authoritarianism is both an end as well as a means. And that's the specific challenge that we are facing in JNU today. But in 5 years, the regime has tried all methods in the country. Has it been able to finish off the spirit of struggle? Has it been able to ensure that even 80% of Indians who follow a particular religion will stand behind that one leader? It has not been able to possible to do it. It is a project that will never succeed. And the same has to be said, ensured for the project that is being, or the sub-project that is being pursued in JNU by our current Vice Chancellor. If the government does demonetization, our Vice Chancellor says computer-based exam. What is he supposedly promoting? He is trying to help. He says, so demonetization, what is the justification? It will get the money of the rich, which is hidden under their mattresses, out. Money will come to the government and people will be given benefits. Poor people of this country will be given benefits. Same logic our Vice Chancellor uses to justify the computer-based multiple choice question. Similar logic is being used. But is he seriously interested in academics? Is he seriously interested in JNU being an inclusive space? If he was, he wouldn't have done so many other things that he has done. I don't think I need to elaborate on that, but I think everyone in this university, whether teachers, students or karmacharis, are quite clear about what is actually being pursued. And no one is taken in by the statements that they make, the administration makes, the Vice Chancellor makes about what is it that they are pursuing in this university. Having said that, however, it still remains true that this particular juncture that we are in is a juncture in which we are waging a struggle together, which is perhaps going to be more decisive than any other struggle in the history of the university. It is this struggle which will decide whether JNU at 51 will be anything like the JNU of 50 years, or will it be completely destroyed and be in ruins. Today, therefore, the struggle is an extremely decisive one. Never has the threat to the university been as large as it is today. An appreciation of that intensity and degree of threat is important if we are going to wage a successful struggle to defeat it. If we are going to able to ensure that the university continue to promote the ideals and traditions which were not given to it as a gift, but were the products of struggle. It is those who are here today who have this onerous responsibility of fighting this decisive battle and winning it. I would like to conclude with the hope that all of us will recognize this real danger, recognize that this is maybe the mother of all battles that we have seen in JNU, recognize that this is not a battle that we are going to win without paying some price. but recognize that this is a battle that has to be won. Has to be won, otherwise the consequences are extremely serious. I do hope that all of us together will be able to work together to realize this objective and beat back this offensive that has been launched by the state and our current administration against this university. Thank you.